अब मैं आ गया हूँ एक ऐसी जगह पर जहाँ पर आकर मुझे सच्ची में अपने इंडिया का एहसास हुआ और अपने बचपन का एहसास हुआ। ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ऐसी जगह मैंने पहली बार देखी है। ये है बुश स्कूल, इसे कहते हैं बुश स्कूल। जैसे हमारे इंडिया के अंदर हमेशा से हमने सुना है और अब आजकल भी काफ़ी हैं मौजूद, जिसे कहते हैं गुरुकुल। सो गुरु होते हैं जिनके संरक्षण में, जिनकी देख रेख में हम शिक्षा प्राप्त करते हैं, हम संरक्षण प्राप्त करते हैं। तो उसी तरह के कंसेप्ट पर यहाँ पर इसे बुश स्कूल कहते हैं। तो बुश स्कूल इधर चलता है जिसमें कि नेचुरल, बुश मतलब झाड़ियाँ, जंगल, इस तरह का एनवायरनमेंट। तो जो बच्चे होते हैं वो ट्रेडिशनल स्कूलिंग करते हुए भी, ट्रेडिशनल स्कूलिंग के साथ साथ बुश स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं। तो बुश स्कूल में 2 दिन वो आते हैं हफ्ते में। तो यहाँ ट्यूसडे और थर्सडे इस तरह से है, या ट्यूसडे या फ्राइडे जो भी रहता है। तो 2 दिन के लिए वो लोग बुश स्कूल में आते हैं और यहाँ पर नेचर के साथ कनेक्शन फील करते हैं। नेचुरल हैबिटेट में रहते हैं, पेड़ पौधे, जंगल हैं यहाँ पर, नीचे झरने, नदियाँ, सब कुछ है, हर चीज़ है। जंगल जिम है जहाँ पर एक जंगल के अंदर ही लकड़ियों से सबसे एक जिम बनाया हुआ है। बेसिकली बच्चे खुद ही बनाते हैं, सारे नेचुरल चीज़ें खुद ही करते हैं और खुद का कनेक्शन जो है वो प्रकृति के साथ, नेचर के साथ कनेक्शन फील करते हैं। इसे स्टार्ट किया था मेरे बहुत ही अच्छे दोस्त हैं, काफ़ी टाइम से इनसे मैं कनेक्टेड हूँ। मेरे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं लेक्स रिचर्ड्स ने। लेक्स रिचर्ड्स के बारे में मुझे अभी रिसेंटली भी एक बात बताई उन्होंने, बात करते करते, कि सलाम नमस्ते मूवी के अंदर भी उनका रोल है। जैसे पीछे बैकग्राउंड में सूटकेस उठाकर लेके जा रहे हैं या कुछ इस तरह के छोटे मोटे रोल्स हैं जो उनको दिए गए थे। बट हाँ, वो क्योंकि उन्होंने आते मुझे बोला सलाम नमस्ते, इस बार जब मिला, वैसे तो मैं हर बार ही मिलता हूँ उनसे, तो इस बार उन्होंने मुझे ऐसे बोला और साथ में बोला कि आप प्रीति जिंटा को जानते हो। मैंने कहा हाँ, प्रीति जिंटा बहुत फेमस और बहुत पॉपुलर जो है वो इंडियन बॉलीवुड एक्ट्रेस हैं। तो वो कहते हैं कि हाँ मैं भी जानता हूँ, और कैसे जानता हूँ उन्होंने पूरी कहानी सुनाई मुझे इस बार। काफ़ी टाइम से मैं इनसे कनेक्टेड और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि बहुत ही एक आगे बढ़ाने वाले इंसान है। बच्चों के लिए बहुत ही अच्छा प्रयास किया। ये बुश स्कूल जब उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था, इस बार मुझे मौका लगा यहीं पर आने का, कि मैं यहीं पर आकर ही एक वीडियो अपना बनाता हूँ। मैं जा रहा था रास्ते में, तो उनका पड़ता था ये बुश स्कूल, तो मैं आपको दिखाने के लिए रुक गया कि क्या है बुश स्कूल। तो आओ अब देखते हैं, उन्हीं से पूछते हैं, लेक्स से ही पूछते हैं कि ये बुश स्कूलिंग आखिर है क्या और किस तरह से ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर बच्चों का ज़िंदगी जो है वो चेंज कर रही है। आपको मिलवाता हूँ मैं लेक्स से, जो कि लेक्स रिचर्ड्स, जो कि जिन्होंने इस इनिशिएटिव स्टार्ट किया, पीसफुल ग्रोइंग कलेक्टिव, और बहुत ही अच्छा कम्युनिटी को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, कम्युनिटी के लिए बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं, बच्चों के लिए बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं। सो आई नो हिज हिंदी इज नॉट एज गुड एज माइन, बट यस, आई विल टॉक टू हिम इन इंग्लिश नाउ. So
thank you for that introduction.
Yeah. So Lex, I've known you as a person who has did a lot of things for the community, and you are doing a lot for the community, for the upliftment of children, for the community. So I've been here like from past 5 days, 5 to 6 days. Although I've been from quite a long time, but yes, from the past 5-6 days, what I've seen here is a positivity, a positivity of thoughts, of expression, of everything. So everything, I love every single thing about this place. The way children play, the way they contribute to even small things together, the way they achieve something together as a team. I love it.
Yes.
So what I want to ask you about this thing is, why Peaceful Growing Collective? How did it start? What came to your mind, and what, when, how, basically?
Sure. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Well, it actually started with the name Peaceful Growing, and the idea around that was recognizing how we live in a world of growth, expansion. We want more. But is that in harmony? Is that in alignment? Is that done peacefully? Look at just the business world. So much of it's around growth, business growth or financial growth, but often at the expense of maybe the cohesion or care for each other. So that was also during a time when I was building veggie gardens, doing design consultations, creating edible food systems with animals and things like that. And in that project of the construction and the working, often would have tradies and people working there, and I'd also feel the tension and the stress that comes with the modern day working. I was like, hang on a minute, like, this is an embedded energy that we're putting on into the earth and that we're doing here, and this is an important interaction that most of us are doing throughout our whole day. How are we doing this? Is this done in a peaceful way, or is this done in a stressed, I need to get this done regardless of anyone else or anything else? And so that's where the name Peaceful Growing stemmed from, came from, was because it was about the process of, all right, how do we peacefully grow the garden? And then also it represents, well, when you plant plants in harmony, then they can grow in a good way. You don't have to put a lot of nutrients or a lot of input in things, because you're creating the right environment for that. And then my own personal journey has continued on with my work from combining all my passions and skills with like earth-based relating, like permaculture and these things, and then human-based relating with certain medicine work or understanding retreat spaces or the ways energies work and human interactions and conversations and relationships. And then seeing the importance of that being modeled with young people, because if you can affect the experience and the memories and switch those lights on in a young person, then that's going to have a greater effect in their life than trying to undo that work of someone who's older often. So
of course, I completely agree with that. And in the bush school, like, how is it different from the traditional schooling? And do children have to do traditional schooling and the bush school? How do they come together?
Good question. Yeah. Well, legally in Australia, you have to send your kids to school.
Schools, yeah.
Or to show that there's a lot of records and curriculum that's supporting their education. So you have to report to prove that the young people are learning.
Yeah.
And so with bush school, often the young people are either homeschooled, which is a whole system in itself, or there was a time there, especially during COVID, where the parents weren't wanting to send their children to school. And I really felt the importance of keeping that routine in their life and outdoors in nature and all these things that actually are good for their health. Everyone was getting closed down and masked up and vaccinated. And I was like, well, actually, how can we open up and still have that good connection and that trust? So it's like a growth ring on a tree that each year is like another ring in a tree. Imagine what that growth ring would have been like for those young ones. You know, like during those 2 years of lockdowns and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, I just wanted to do my bit of making sure that those growth rings were actually as healthy and vibrant as possible, so we could create that environment for them.
And thanks to COVID, it did some good things as well.
And well, we were doing it anyway, and it was an extra challenge. So nice. I'm not giving it
credit to the COVID.
To that. But there's always opportunity in every challenge. There's opportunity, and these pressure cookers or these situations that are put on us. Then there's always a way to move.
You saw the silver lining in the clouds. So I appreciate that. And when it comes to, like, I would like to tell the audience that it's not only children or the young ones who learn something here or get inspired. It's the parents as well. So how does peaceful growing it helps parents as well?
Yeah, for sure. Well, so the bush school is just one arm of it. And so we run that a couple of times a week at the moment in holiday programs. But then we also have the nature mentoring. And then that includes, like, say, the boys' adventures that we do. Take the boys out, do initiation adventures to give them that sense of like camaraderie and experience and accomplishment in nature and that challenge. And then also with that mentoring, it's a chance for one-on-one relating, often with young fellas that don't have a strong male role model in their life, so we can support the family unit like that. And then the other one is nature and human, which is more the adult and community gatherings and work. So that's other ways that we actually do counselling, do other retreat or gathering activities that also include the whole community. So it could be the parents and the young ones. And then the fourth one is peaceful landscape. So that's still honouring that way of relating with the earth in a good relation. So therefore we can have food production,
Yes.
that we can have sustainability, and regeneration is the word that really keeps coming up for me, is like, how do we actually have a regenerative culture and practices? So in answer to your question, like understanding that, it's like then parents or adults actually have all these beautiful ways of interweaving within that work.
Yeah.
And one way is, for example, with the bush school, is it's become a thing now where the parents will actually hang out, come up earlier before the kids arrive at the pickup spot, and they all hang out and have a picnic for an hour or so, and so the relating and the community connections are happening there. And then also a lot happens with me as a mentor with the parents to be able to give them insights into what's going on or what things worked, and they're getting that fresh perspective that's outside of their usual dynamics or their usual energy that's bouncing back and forth within their insular home unit. They're actually getting this perspective of someone going, oh, hang on, this is actually how, you know, you could actually shift that energy or what's going on. Yeah,
very nice. Good to know that. And I could recall you telling me something about Preity Zinta and the Salaam Namaste.
Yeah. Well, when I lived in Melbourne back in the day, I did a few different jobs, and one of them was doing being a cast member on different things, and I was in that movie
Salaam
with
Namaste.
with Preity Zinta on the beach, dancing, playing volleyball. We had a lot of fun. It was one of those moments where I'm like, what, am I getting paid for this? Just dancing around doing Bollywood style, it was very fun.
So one last question for you, like what the future holds for Heartland and for like PGC. Will that be confined to one place, or by God's grace it would be like the same good thing? I seriously want to see PGC in every state or every city, because the way it transforms humans. So it's I could seriously see some future leaders in the children here. So what the future holds for PGC? What's any plans or anything like that?
Absolutely. But the plans are actually also beyond my comprehension at the moment, but I trust that they're already out there and happening. And as this has grown, like the peaceful growth of this has then evolved to being more of a collective, and then that collective is actually a broader collective. So for us to be able to secure this land and to have it as point zero of that, which is the hub, already today it's been such good energy of having everyone here and doing all the different things that are in support of this work, and then to be able to then support other people to have hubs that might not necessarily be a whole land like this, but to be able to have a hub of a bush school over there, or support that person to be able to be a mentor in their local area, or to be able to how to run men's gatherings and to support them with the framework to be able to do that. And so it actually broadens out that through education, through peer support works. But my dreaming is that we actually have all these hubs and all these spaces that are available for people to feel that sense of home, feel that connection to nature, and not just limited to Australia. I'd love to, for example, in India, I know that there's some amazing schooling systems there, having exchange things possible, having us to be able to, because it's all a universal understanding of how do we care for ourselves, how do we care for each other, how do we care for the environment, and also like what is the true culture of this time and space that we are in. So here the culture is very different to say in India. So we say bugulbear when we say thank you, or jingiwala when we say hello in the language here. But then when I say go to India, I'll be hearing it in Hindi, which is the
Namaste.
Which is the energy of that, the vibration of that country and that place. And so so I think that's what's really important, is for people to be able to connect in with what is their true culture and to explore that. And that's what we're doing with these young ones, is not to just be like, and you asked before, like the difference between regular schooling and this is that we are actually mentors. So we're mentoring through our own experience, through our own interactions with them to support a greater understanding. A teacher is often this, I have all the information, I'll stand here and I'll tell you and you stay over there and
mentor.
And so it's like this mentorship where we're in it
Yeah.
together. And even that shift of perspective from the kids is to be able to feel, oh, well, even though they're an adult and I respect them and stuff, I'm actually going to align with them because I agree to, and because I'm in a mentorship with them. Oh, and I could be a mentor even as a 8-year-old to a 6-year-old, and so I get, and so they feel empowered, and so it ends up being that everyone's actually inquiring themselves of what is the right thing to do here? How can we be a better person, as opposed to being told how what the right thing to do is and how they need to be a better person.
Yeah,
and
in that way, I could I could say that you've been a mentor to me as well, and your life has inspired me, and of course everyone else who knows you.
Yeah.
So your life is definitely an inspiration for all of us. I have seriously learned a lot of things from you. I now learned to respect nature more, and I felt a deep connection with the nature more after coming here, and knowing you has been so good for me.
Yeah.
So
and you too. I really feel honored to have met you, and I see your genius that comes out in all these different ways, and yeah, you're very well versed in so many different areas, and I really respect that.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, very clear and beautiful man. Thank you.
And my friend Sam is the one who doesn't want to come in front of the camera. He's the one who who helped me come here, meet Lex, and come across this beautiful land, Heartland, and this wonderful initiative which is Peaceful Growing. You guys can always visit the website peacefulgrowing.com to check out what Peaceful Growing is, what is it about.
It's .org now.
.org as well, so it's .com, .org, whatever. You just visit the website.
It's Peaceful Grow it.
Yeah, and if you would like to make donations for this wonderful cause, do check out the donations page as well, as you can help contribute to this amazing effort or amazing initiative. Well, thank you so much, Lex. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.